Alright, Cartoon Collection Part 2. We're just going to continue from where we left off. So, this is a double feature Scooby-Doo movie. Or two Scooby-Doo movies on one disc. So, it features two of my favorite Scooby-Doo movies. Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island, which I originally fell in love with, I think back in 2017. I did a review on it on my YouTube channel. So, if you want to check that out, you can. As well as Scooby-Doo and the Alien Invaders, which is the third movie in the Scooby-Doo late 90s, early 2000s movie franchise that they had going there. Both of them are very good movies. I enjoy both of them. I love them dearly. They're really good Scooby-Doo movies. I honestly love the first three Scooby-Doo movies that they made in the 90s. So, Zombie Island was the first. The Witch's Ghost was the second. That wasn't on here. And the Alien Invaders was the third. All three of them are very good Scooby-Doo movies. They have a darker tone to them. Well, at least Zombie Island does. Zombie Island does have a darker tone than the rest of them, but they're very great movies. Some of you adults may remember this. This is Schoolhouse Rock. I don't think a lot of millennials really remember or even care about Schoolhouse Rock, although it was around the 2000s. But this is Schoolhouse Rock, the special 30th anniversary edition, so I think this came out in 2001. But if you don't know, Schoolhouse Rock was basically a series of animated musical shorts that made you learn things and taught you about things. It taught you about, the Constitution. It taught you about conjunctions, many of which I think we still need nowadays. These shorts, I don't know where they went, but man, we need them to come back. So it taught you about conjunctions. There's multiplication shorts. I think that's one of the characters for the multiplication ones. There's another character from the multiplication songs. So they're basically a series of songs, that either taught you about multiplication, science, money. And again, most of these shorts were made around the 70s, early 70s and 80s. So that's why I said a lot of you adults may remember this. And I remember it from when I was a kid. So it features, here's one of the discs that fell out. But it features two discs with all of the musical shorts, plus a new musical short that they made at this time, which was about voting. So, again, a great release. I never put this in a while. I should watch it again. I may learn something. Again. Hey, we all need to review multiplication sometimes, right? Because now I'm doing it all over the place. But anyway, this is the next DVD. So this is Saturday Morning Cartoons 1970s Volume 2. Again, if you're not a big animation freak, some of these faces may not even be familiar to you. Obviously, with the exception of Tom and Jerry. But if you are a big animation fan like myself, you know that these guys are the Hair Bear Bunch. You know that's Shazam. Obviously, Tom and Jerry there. Right now, I can't remember who they are. I think this right here is C-Lab 2020. This is Inch Eye, Private Eye. So again, if you're a big animation freak, you know and you love these cartoons. I keep running into 1970s Volume 1 at Cracker Barrel. Every time I go to Cracker Barrel, I keep saying I'm going to get it, but I just don't. I keep saying, because they made, I think, two of these. They made Volume 2, which is what I have, as well as Volume 1. So Volume 1 features Josie and the Pussycats. I think it features the Jetsons. And I think it features the Funky Phantom. All of those other cartoons from the 70s. I'd rather have that one than this one. So eventually maybe I'll add Volume 1 to my collection. But it's still a pretty good set to watch. This is another Warner Brothers double feature featuring Tom and Jerry. Who else? It features two of my favorite Tom and Jerry films. Tom and Jerry, The Fast and the Furry, and Tom and Jerry's Blast Off to Mars. I love both of these films dearly. Both of them were released in 2005 and 2006, respectively. A lot of people, some guys that I talk to, they don't really like the mid-2000s Tom and Jerry. I enjoy them because they didn't try to make them friends like they did in the 70s. And they didn't try, to overemphasize the concept so much that it lost its essence. I think these movies definitely bring Tom and Jerry's essence back on the screen. And so I personally enjoy those. This is the Batman Superman movie. Now, I had this movie ever since I was a kid. Never really paid attention to it or gave a crud about it until recently. But once I did give a crud about it, I was thoroughly impressed. So I haven't seen this movie. Before I watched it again, the tail end of last year, I never really cared much about this movie being in my collection. I almost wanted to get rid of it. But something said keep it. And so I'm glad I kept it because it's a really good movie. This was released... Now, this is before, DC started making all of these terrible sequels. This was in 1997 when this film came out on the WB. And I think it was a part of the New Superman Adventures to where they had this special play. But it's a really great movie. Two completely different worlds collide and basically stop the Joker. It's a good movie. This is another recent pickup. I got this last year. This is the Flintstones, the complete first season. So again, first season of the Flintstones. What can I say? Can't really say much about it. I definitely think they could have got a little bit more creative with the DVD art here, but that's just me being picky. But there you go, Flintstones. Johnny Bravo. This was obviously a Cartoon Network original. This is season 1 of Johnny Bravo from 1997. Again, Johnny Bravo is another one that I thoroughly enjoy. I thoroughly love Johnny Bravo. And I have to say, guys, even though Johnny Bravo had 4 seasons, my favorite season has to be the first season. I mean, they had some really good writers. I mean, Butch Hartman, Seth MacFarlane, all of these guys. Van Partible, the original creator of the show, worked on the show. So they had a lot of good memories, and they made a lot of good episodes during season 1. Not, bashing season 2 and season 3. I do enjoy season 2. I think season 2 is my second favorite season of Johnny Bravo. Season 3 is kind of meh, and season 4 is kind of meh. But season 1 and season 2, I thoroughly enjoy. I enjoy the concept. I enjoy the cleverness. I enjoy the smartness of the plot. Oh my goodness. I enjoy it. This is the Jetsons. The Jetsons season 1. Again, what more can I say? A television classic indeed. So I enjoy the Jetsons as well. I think I prefer the Jetsons over the Flintstones. Sorry guys. I think I'm those kind of guys. I prefer the Jetsons. This is the original, I think, 30 episodes from 1962. So, obviously we know, well, if you're a cartoon historian, you know that the Jetsons had at least two, three more seasons in the 80s. They brought them back in the 80s. But to me, they weren't really that good in the 80s. They were alright in the 80s, but really, the cream of the crop was the first season from the 60s. So I do enjoy that. Alright, now we got another one of my favorite cartoons here. Animaniacs from Warner Brothers. This is the first season, or this is technically Animaniacs Volume 1, aka the first season. So these are the majority of the episodes from 1993, when these guys first came on the air on Fox Kids. Guys, what can I say? Clever writing, brilliant animation, brilliant voice actors. Need I say more? Need I say more? Animaniacs is a television gem, and nowadays I think it's getting the respect that it deserved 25 years ago when it originally aired. Now I think it's starting to earn the respect that it needs and that it demanded. So I thoroughly enjoy this show. Everything about it I love. The cleverness, the humor, the just intelligence of the writing and the writers, the breaking of the fourth wall continuously. I love it. It's a really good show. I would encourage you to get into it. It's on Hulu, so you have no excuses. It's on Hulu. Dexter's Laboratory. Again, need I say more? Do I even need to talk about this? Dexter's Laboratory season 1 from the Cartoon Network Hall of Fame. Again, features all of the episodes from Dexter's Lab and his sister Dee Dee. Didi, get out of my laboratory! From 1996. I'm really upset that they did not release Season 2. I definitely think Season 2 is slightly better than Season 1. But, gee, I really enjoy Season 1 for what it is and for what it basically got the show off the ground to do. So, love it. Genndy Tartakovsky, love you, man. And this is all for my DVDs. So this is the Saturday Morning Cartoon Collection 1960s, Volume 1. Now this features Jetsons, Adamant, Space Ghost, Frankenstein Jr., Porky Pig, Quick Draw McGraw, all of these guys, Snooper and Blabs right there, Secret Squirrel. So all of these cartoons, again, from around the early to mid-60s. I think Yogi Bear's on here too, I think. Can't remember. This is a pretty decent collection. Not the greatest collection. I think they could have put more cartoons. I really thought they were going to do something extra special with these collections. But for what it is, it satisfies you if you want a good variety of Saturday morning cartoons. Alright, that's it for part 1. Or no, this is part 2 now. Alright, we're going to go to part 3, which is these VHS tapes over there.